Rachel has put together a panel tonight that I think is feeling a lot of what many of us in the UFO field are running into, which is mudslinging and the attacks on you behind your back and act like you're friends and this kind of thing.
Thom, do you have a couple of clips that you can share?
I bought those dolls. I brought that demon in my house.
Oil's being placed on the doll.
Tule, Virgo, Retro, Baphomet.
That's when it started speaking to me. It became very intense.
I bind thee and demand you are confined within this sacred barrier. Get out of my head!
What the fuck was that?
So that was a haunting. So they actually had me. They I guess saw my stuff on like Facebook because I used to like do lives and stuff until the shit went down, and then I had to stop doing lives with them because I didn't realize how bad the one was.
So I've got a question. What happens if you plant two dolls next to each other that are on opposite ends of the spectrum? Do you feel or sense anything? Is there any type of a field or an undertow?
You definitely can feel. If you're even around Gretchen, you can feel her. Anybody's ever met her always wants to pick her up, hold her. They'll get like really hot. But I haven't taken Lily out of the house since she was bonded into the container. So she doesn't leave the house. Nobody comes and sees it. It stays in there, and it's usually covered. So, but yeah, when they were together at one time, yes, you can definitely feel there was weird energy. I just didn't understand why. I had a film crew here about a month ago, and they were, I guess, I thought there was videotaping my paranormal room. And I walked in there and they were opening up some cases. I'm like, listen, if it's in a case, you do not touch it. I don't know what's going to happen because I haven't opened it since she's been in it.
I can't believe it.
A new collector spies vintage dolls for sale.
The minute I saw their picture, I had to have them.
Only to find their sweet faces
Big smile.
hide a dark secret.
All this starts happening right after she gets these dolls.
They were taking her life for theirs, and she must take drastic steps
That's when it started speaking to me.
to contain the evil within them.
It became very intense.
It really scared the shit out of me. Lily was pure evil.
I'm getting you out of my house!
Definitely not a Christmas special.
No.
Did the dolls do any, was it all like, would you say psychic attacks, or like, did they actually move things? Like I've had experiences where they've thrown things on the floor. Entities have thrown things on the floor, scratches from other people that I worked with. They had scratches on their arms and legs. Did the dolls do anything like that?
The bad one, the good one is fine. She, to me, protects me. I actually feel pretty safe when I'm around her because she knows I'm protecting that doll. The other one, yes. So I've had a big black mass come after me in the middle of nowhere. Most people don't have evidence when they go on these shows. I've had a cross thrown at me. I've had a candle thrown at me. All these, like, just clips from my paranormal room. And I'm just like, a candle gets thrown at, or I'm sorry, the cross gets thrown at me. I just kind of look at it, keep going, and go on as my day. Like, it was, I'm not going to feed into it. But yeah, that's why I don't bring her out of the house, because I know what she can do. So, and I always tell people this, I would rather pick up Annabelle and give her a hug than touch that doll ever again.
Like, you can have a disagreement of opinion and still respect somebody.
Yeah,
Still
no, you're not allowed to be
and still
beautiful.
a good investigator.
You're not allowed to be pretty or beautiful in the paranormal, apparently. And it seems that way, yes?
We could be talking about ice cream and people are still going to bash you. That's what I think it is. It's like, that's kind of one of the things when I try to think about how to create a safe space. One of the things I do is accept that there are bad people, if you want to call it that. There's bullies there. It's just the way it is. But it's not necessarily because it's your fault. It's really just you're in this world, and this world is going to make fun of you, whether you're talking about ghosts or whether you're talking about ice cream or aliens or anything.
They are belittling you, talking, about you behind your back to other people in the paranormal to ruin your good reputation.
To watch your words, no matter who you're with.
Right.
If you can accept the fact that everybody is capable of kind of talking behind your back, no matter how charming they are on the outside, you'll learn to guard your words and ask yourself, like I ask myself a question like, would I feel comfortable if this person got mad at me? I don't care how charming they are, how friendly they are, how nice they are. If this person got mad at me tomorrow and decided to smear me, would I feel comfortable telling them what I'm about to tell them so they could use that against me? If the answer is no, or I'm not sure, I'm not telling them. I'm not saying it. Stick to the professional, like be strictly professional with them, because they won't have anything. Even when they're secretly fuming against you in private, they won't have anything.
But I've dated a specific person in the paranormal who I was with for a year and 4 months and loved me to death, or so I thought, right? Loved me to death. And behind my back, while he was with me, said some really fucked up things that almost pretty much ruined my paranormal career, just to boost himself up in the community. Like, how can somebody do that? Like, I just don't understand it. I don't understand.
No,
Did we date the same guy? What's going on? Did we date the same guy? What's going on here?
No, I mean, there's so many out there, because a friend of mine had the same similar situation happen with her guy, and he totally took over her entire life, her whole entire paranormal life, her Instagram, her everything, to where she had to change her whole everything, like the name of her paranormal team, and she was on TV. So yeah, it's happening a lot out there and nobody's talking about it.
69% of the bullies are men. But interestingly, the women who are bullies are choosing to explicitly target other women.
I just don't understand why, though. Like, we all have a similar goal. Like, can we all just get along? Like,
I know.
like for real. So recently, me and Thom had like a thing. People were slandering us. And pretty much for no reason. I think, said person just wanted the clout and, the fame and,
Rihanna.
by any means necessary. And she went after me too. And what did I have to do with anything,
Yeah, she went after Ava with a vengeance.
Like, when I tell you pornographic, made up fucking photos, like made up photos that was like, it didn't even look like me, but to the untrained eye, they would probably they would look past that, you know what I mean?
Photoshop, right?
Yeah, it was Photoshop, of course. And I don't even know like why she had it out for me so badly. I don't even know why she had it out for you, Thom.
UFO Expo events, and of course Ava is like family, and so she's involved in a lot of these things, and she also sponsors my park and everything, or with t-shirts back in the day, and made some appearances there. And so I was it's crazy. So we were filming, and she ended up shacking up in a motel with an ex-cop while her husband's at home taking care of her kid, and she got caught by everybody in the film crew because they knew that she had spent 3 days in this hotel with this guy. So she tried to turn it around and blame everyone else for doing exactly what she did. That was the best way I can describe it, because she
projecting, right?
Yeah.
But not only that, but on top of that, she had her mic on and was talking really like nasty things about me and all the females that were there.
Yeah. So we were filming, and they changed batteries. They only last like 20 minutes or whatever. So they were changing batteries, and they had to go walk away to get the case. And while they weren't filming her, she forgot her mic was live, and she was calling people, sluts, and I'm going to
Other
film
name.
her. I don't want to use her in anything, and this kind of thing, and it was just really bad.
But all the while, hey, I love you. Oh,
Right.
blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Hugs.
She called the municipality when we were having an event,
It's
and
crazy.
that's when she started putting these pictures of supposedly Ava and I together. I mean, we're friends and stuff, but that was a made-up photo.
Yeah.
Sent it to the city mayor and the city council people, saying, "Why would you have these people at a family event when blah blah blah, whatever it was?" And we're still now. Ava and I are actually taking her to court for slander, blatant malice.
Took legal steps.
And I think it was all over the fact that she got caught doing something and tried to turn it around and make it look like someone else was doing exactly what she was doing. So if it got back to her husband, she could say, "Oh, they're just attacking me because that's what I said about them," or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So they're kind of deflecting, but it got to the point where now she's holding events under my brand. She's actually holding a UFO Expo event, my brand, without my okay.
She had other people like coming after me and sending me messages that I didn't even know. Sending me messages about how I'm nasty and dirty and a prostitute. Like, what? Like, who are you? Like, and this is off just the word of Rhiannon. And I got attacked and attacked and attacked for no reason. Those messages were also sent to Pine Bush.
These were people I trusted and loved. I mean, I don't care what I've heard about you.
Right.
I don't. I want to work with you at least one time.
People out there who are solely looking for clout, trying to, chase the dream, right? The dream of becoming the next Zach Baggins, the next whatever, right? It's true though.
Yeah.
They're clout chasing. They want that fame, and it takes away that chase. It takes away from the investigators that really just want to know what is on the other side, where is the other side, what you know what I mean, like what can we find out? And we should be able to come together, like, everybody's got this like paranormal round table thing, but if we really did a paranormal round table, it should be scientists and geologists and astrological people, you know what I mean, like, and just all come together and like, and just like, can we all figure out like where is the plane that we are talking to these spirits and entities,
Because I have been bashed for my style. I have been told I'm not real. I'm not a real investigator because I'm not doing the typical investigator stuff. Because I talk to them like they're alive. I talk to them like they're sitting next to me, and I'm gonna pour a drink. I'm gonna have a drink with them. I just did that last Friday night, and it works.
Right.
And it works. I don't even, if I go to a location for the first time, I don't even do my homework on it. I want to see what happens to me personally, what comes through to me personally. It might be something I brought with me. Who knows? But everyone experiences something different. Very rarely are two people going to experience the same thing. And if they do, why do we just go into these spirits' domains and just think we can run all over it, antagonize them, threaten them, or just start asking them, how'd you die? Maybe they don't want to talk about it. Maybe they don't know they're dead.
Right.
Maybe you like just rehashed something terrible. We don't know. So they're just my friends. We talk. My normal locations that I go to all the time, they know me. And I know they know me. So those are the most fun for me because they are my friends. But I don't do the questions. And I have been put down so much for that.
We wanted to know how systems work. We wanted to know, why are you there? Why can't you see me? Why can't you move stuff like a poltergeist? Why is there a poltergeist? Like, we wanted to know classification, categories.
You guys are authentic. And I think what happens, that challenges people.
The people who were with you saw you get thrown. Like, they saw you get thrown. And then when I came over, I saw the scuff marks from where you were standing to where you were thrown. Like, there's no faking that at all.
I mean, I was deceased for 7 minutes of my birth, so
Right.
born. I've never not had experiences, but when you suppress it, you don't, because you're told not to. You're told.
Right.
Our minds control everything.
Right.
And you get told and told and told you can't do it. It's not real.
But I also think that certain things happen to. I became very sensitive after my near-death experience. It just changed me in a lot of ways. Before that, I really wouldn't say that I was really in tune like I can be at times now. So maybe everybody can do it, but there's got to be something that triggers something in you. Or I know a lot of people that are just cold-hearted dicks. There's no way they can't even communicate with their own family or children, let alone get in touch with something from another realm.
There can be catalyst experiences like near-death experiences, but especially if you go back to ancient teachings, you can be trained. You can have somebody that had no catalyst whatsoever. I myself actually came from that. I didn't have a UFO encounter that I can remember. I didn't have a near-death experience. I didn't encounter aliens or ghosts, even, as far as I know. I started getting trained.
So I really want to know when you first found or sensed or thought, hey,
okay, so
different than everyone else.
I was on the set of a movie with Alicia Keys back in 2000.
Wow.
I think I was about 19 years old. I had a glass in front of me with a few cherries in it. I was making the cherry follow my finger up and down the glass. And, I thought nothing of it. And I was just, going up and down. The cherry was following my finger up and down. And I totally forgot that there were people around me until the guy next to me went, he went, and that snapped me out of my whatever trance that I was in at the time.
Did something happen to you at 18 or 19 that kicked this into overdrive, or was this just something that you had and you recognized it a little here, a little there, and then all of a sudden you're like, hey, I have to accept?
Yeah, was it gradual or sudden? Yeah.
Well, when I was 5, me and my mom got into a really bad accident, and 2 cars came up on top of us, and we were underneath those cars, and we didn't have any bruises, no broken bones, no nothing. I don't know how we survived that. I watched as those cars came towards us, right? And then I remember being on the side of the road. I was only 5. I remember being on the side of the road talking to a man, a really tall man with no face that I could recall. And I was crying to him, is my mother going to be okay? And he kept saying, don't worry, your mother's going to be fine. Your mother's going to be fine. As I'm watching the ambulance pull my mother out from underneath the cars. And I watch as they put her into the ambulance. And I look up at the man. And then all of a sudden I start feeling like a tug on my shoulder. And the ambulance people are pulling me out from underneath the car. So it happened at 5 years old. So I
had that conversation.
I was talking to someone, I guess, I don't know, out of body experience. I don't know.
Body. Yeah.
You're a chosen one.
And they pulled me out from underneath the cars, but all I had was just a couple of scratches on my face. But no broken bones or nothing. My mom was fine, no broken bones. Which is crazy because 2 cars came right up on top. Before that, I used to hear my name being called in an empty room. I'd hear Ava, Ava.
I hear that once in a while.
You still do?
Yeah. I'll be laying in bed and I hear Thom, and no one's here, and I just
Oh
hear,
my goodness. Does anybody have any idea what that could be? Because I've heard that since I was a child.
the other day it was so prevalent that I got out of bed and searched the house. Sometimes at night I'll wake up for no reason at 2:22. It's always 2:22.
I wake up at 3 o'clock almost every morning.
You know,
So why does that happen? What's with the times? It's either 2 a.m. or 3 a.m.
Yes,
Witching hour.
the witching hour, right?
in Eastern
Well, the veil
times.
is super thin, is the theory. You know, the veil thins out so much during that time.
I mean, nobody can fight everyone by themselves.
You by nature want to defend yourself. You by nature want to say mean things back. We're human, but being a victim will make you weak, and you're not.
Well, sticking up for yourself doesn't necessarily mean you're accepting the fact that you're a victim. Maybe now we just go, I've had enough of being a victim, so I'm going to lead off with "fuck you."
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And there's a point where you say, we're the real deal, and you posers you've had your time, you've had your flash in the pan. I mean, at some point you got to say, hey, that you're crossed the line. We'll let you do your thing, right? Like if I'm holding a UFO conference and Ava's been there, I'm not going to have somebody who I know is a hoaxer just because he's got a big following be the keynote speaker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think what Rachel wanted to do tonight makes a lot of sense because we're not alone. A lot of people throw stones. And
my first husband was very abusive. So when I would come home, he would say things and all of a sudden the lights would blow. And I used to always think it was my dad. But then I would talk to somebody on the phone and get so mad, their lights blow out. So then I'm starting thinking, was that me or was that my dad that used to always blow the lights out when I would get mad? When I'm at work, if I'm having a bad day, all the computers malfunction.
Krystal, how did you or when did you find out that you had your abilities?
I don't remember ever not. And I remember just going into funeral homes and hospitals, and I didn't know the difference. I didn't know who was alive and who was dead. I just didn't. Of course, it's not the same as when you're an adult and after you suppress it and you have to relearn everything and recenter. It's different. I don't see that as strong now. It's there, but it's not like it was as a child where I actually could feel like I could touch them. But I go back to my childhood, and there was a little witch in our town, and I have 3 confirmed witches in my dad's family. I have 2 whites and a green. I have a 4 generations back Haitian slave. I have a lot of things. Cherokee. I've got Cherokee. I've got all these spiritual backgrounds, but there was a little witch, and she made homemade remedies. And my dad did not do modern doctors. He was a hippie kind of. So we went to get some medicine. I got out of the car, even though he told me not to, because that is who I am to this day. And she ran in the house. She slammed the door, and she starts like screaming to get that child off of her property. And she kept saying that I was surrounded by white light.
Okay, I went on an investigation at the Coral Castle in Miami, and be honest with you, I was pretty closed off to it because I'm thinking that's a Coral Castle. This guy supposedly built this by himself, and no one knows how he did it. I don't know if you're aware of it or not.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was the first time in a long time that I saw these questions being asked and hearing the answers on all these recorders at the same time. Not one, all of them. And then lights would blink and go off at the same time these answers came through the tape recorder. Now, I didn't hear it with my own ears, but when they played them back at all these different, it was there. I can't deny it was there. And there were some people with us that were like, oh, this is all, you know what I mean? And then there were those who said, no, I want you to really listen to this and play it really well. And you could hear them say names. You could hear them be specific. So it wasn't like I wanted to hear it. That's why I heard what I did. I mean, it was and then being thrown at the park there and just different things. I mean, through my, being on the show the other day and having a glitch in my power of my monitor. And all of a sudden this crash sounded behind me. Everyone heard it. It was on the show. Little things like that. I mean, it's there. And I've gotten so numb to it. It's like, oh, they don't take up any room. And I don't feel negative. I don't feel angry. I don't feel that this is a negative energy, but it's here. And I
Well,
know
you got the Anubis dog, so
you're watching out for me, yeah. But there are other people that come over here and they don't sense anything. They're blocked off by it. And then other people, as soon as they walk in the door, go, "Ooh,"
I know.
you know.
Yeah, I think that we have a connect, just like we have on the physical plane.
Mhm.
I think we have a connection to certain spirits in
It's,
certain
like,
locations.
you got children. We're
Yeah.
women. We're going to attract the children,
Mhm.
mostly. You go into a prison, we're going to attract that. Male
Yeah.
prison. It's just like life. I mean, it really was life. But even though I've been through what I've been through, and still going through, if one of those people needed help, I'm probably going to do it.
Right.
I mean,
Well,
and
yeah, just like you said, that's the difference, is your heart and your intention
yeah, I mean, it's
is that you want to help
not.
people.
Yeah. So let's go around. What are you again, Krystal?
Scorpio.
All right, Aquarius. What are you?
Pisces.
Pisces.
Scorpio.
One side.
Leo.
Elle.
I doubt we'll even get into house and moon signs, but my sun sign is Cancer, so it's my birthday. So far, are these all water signs?
A water
No,
sign
I'm
and a
I'm
Leo. No, because you got an air sign
Okay,
too.
Leo.
Tom
Air.
is an air sign. He is Aquarius.
I'm Aquarius. I'm a water bearer.
Oh, okay, you're water.
Okay, but you're still air. Air water.
Yeah, that's air.
Air.
Okay.
But we'll put you in the water signs too.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, she's gonna get someone else to
It
feel
was a good look. I mean, she didn't get frozen with a weird face or anything.
There she is.
Yeah, there she is.
Oh,
You are
You
frozen.
everybody froze. I was like, what happened?
So you were frozen.
But are you
You were
amethyst, Tom?
What?
Are you an amethyst?
Yes.
Even
Me
people
too.
at work, they say you're too nice. You're too nice. I'm like, but you haven't double crossed me yet, or you haven't tried.
Right.
Exactly.
That's different,
But I think that's why I like you so much, Mary Jo, because I like your feistiness.
Oh God, I showed it. Well, that night when
It's you. I love your feisty.
that night was just a little like, oh my God, what is going on here? You know what I mean? It's just different personalities.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
it
And
was.
I was getting agitated. So
I was too a little bit too.
yeah.
But I love your personality. Like you are a delight to investigate with, and I will definitely investigate with you many times.
We all need to
Same.
come up with an investigation.
Yes.
That would be so fun.
It
We
would
should go
be.
in a place. I know you're some of you are far, but I always wanted to do this, is go on a Zoom call. One person be in one room, one person be in the other, and everybody connected like on this, and
Yeah.
sit there and be quiet. No talking, and just see what happens. And I tried to do this at St. Albans. Big
Yeah.
mistake, because people just wouldn't shut up. And I'm just saying, just sit in a room. I just want everybody to be quiet in their separate rooms to see which energies get whatever. And nobody could get the concept they're not supposed to talk. No, you're supposed to sit there in a room and not say a thing. But I think that would work really well, because everybody gets to see on the camera what is going on.
I just say, as women, in a location that I think is great for women is Brushy Mountain.
Yeah.
Where's that?
I'm
That's
going there
okay.
in June.
It's
Okay.
in Morgan County.
Yeah.
It's in Tennessee.
It's
Tennessee.
It's my home away from home. I live 15 minutes from there, so I go just to go. So massive.
Yeah.
You can have 10 people and you never hear each other.
Well,
Oh, wow.
It's so separated too.
Yeah, because
That's the story I like to tell the most when I go out on do like different podcasts, because I was in the whole part of Brushy, that area, and we had there were the cells that are there. We had an investigator in each cell, and then I was standing outside the cells with the guy that was filming the people and the investigators inside the cells, and nobody was behind me, and all of a sudden I got touched right on the butt. And I freaked out, because I was like, nope.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So the story is always I got this is my friend who we investigated with. She said all the time is like, well, Rachel got touched on the butt in the hole, but not the butt.
D Block's like all my stories. Not all of them, but that's the majority of mine. So I love the D Block.
That's where we got like something. It was like a rock that was thrown from inside the cell, was thrown out at us.
Yeah,
we
and
were
I was
sitting like on the outside of those cells. So
I can't remember who had been there. Just maybe I just saw I saw it on Facebook. I'm terrible with this. I don't know who's who sometimes. But they had their video up, and I was floored. I was like, that is like my experience almost exactly.
Wow.
And I'm forwarding it to the guy that was with me that night, and I was actually on Honey Discoveries with that. He was in there with me too, and he's like, oh my God, like it's just my favorite. And for women, I think it's better than it is for men. I think overall that women have a better and more experiences. I'm not Parajesus, but I'm sure trying.
The real people that need to be in your life will stay in your life. The other ones are behind you. You keep them back there.
Oh, yeah. So I was just going to say that, my suggestion is to report to someone, tell to someone, whether it's a friend or a family member or supervisor, whoever it is, you're not alone. Like you can see all these strong, amazing, beautiful women like have been bullied themselves, and you're not alone. Just make sure you know that.